What is going on, everyone? This is Griever, your guys' host as always, bringing you guys the latest behind the bar reviews for chapter 299, one chapter away from the big 300 of 7 Deadly Sins. And normally, as you guys all know, with the exception of the current arc of Shokugeki no Soma, generally when I do a review, I go through it page by page, scene by scene, and get to the stuff. But forget that and fuck the panel rules for this chapter review, because as we all know, oh, YouTube review, it's copyright, blah, 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 even though it's not, whatever, panel showing. I don't care. I don't care. We're showcasing this. If it gets taken down, I'm just going to keep re-uploading it. So, here we go. Bam. Look at this. The end of the chapter gives us this. This is sexy. This is Meliodas in full-blown badass adult Link, which is something that myself and a lot of people assumed we would eventually see, whether it was because he got his emotions back, because of the purgatory time, because he became the Demon King, his original magical power, something like that. When he broke the curse, remember, because he stopped aging, something like that. We all assumed that he'd have some type of, whether adult Link or fierce deity Link thing going on. And it happened, and I expected us not to see him until the next chapter. That was my call. I said, chapter 300, that's when the cocoon will break for whatever reason, and we'll get this. But no, we get it right here. Now, I'll go through the rest of the chapter, but I needed to talk about this right at the beginning, because this is hype. This is awesome. This is just, oh, alright. This is a chapter for Taizai. Just see how easy it is to have just one panel, or even a couple panels. To make just a couple pages makes the whole chapter. It's just so hype. It's so good. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen. But we'll talk about what I think the motivations are at the end of the review. We'll talk about this scene. So let's just jump right into it, because not only did we get super sexy as fuck Meliodas showing up here at the end, we got a nice cover page shot of Zeldris looking fine. He's looking good. My God, this is sounding really Rudessial-like. Anyways, forget that. Zeldris looking like a badass on the cover page, and we just jump straight into the fight. We're not jumping around. We're not, I mean, this is hype moments. We're not jumping back to Dreyfus and see what he's doing or anything like that. No. We're sticking with the battle. Now, no appearance by the Sinner Demon. Still think the Sinner Demon is going to have some type of, he'll probably show up and bend one knee like a knight sort of idea to the new Demon King. But in this chapter, he's, as far as we know, he's just gone. He's either down for the count or gone. Crisis is probably still going to be fully activated for him, and he'll be monstrously strong, and then Meliodas will stomp him. But either way, they continue this fight, and I love Mael's attitude during this fight. Now, they both, neither one really gets away totally clean, but this was a good battle. Zeldris, unfortunately, is getting a lot of Bon treatment. It's clear to me that Nakaba does not care for Bon and does not care for Zeldris, because they are always being showcased feats but never winning at the end of the day. It's a clear thing that these two characters share in common, is that they really never in the end win. It's always somebody else, or it's beyond them at their current level. It's just, that seems to be the way it is. And Zeldris looks great in this chapter, in this fight. He looks awesome. He looks menacing. And he speed blitz Mael. Speed blitz him. Now, before all this, of course, he melted his sword in the previous chapter. So what does Zeldris do? He just puts on darkness in the form of a sword, and he's like, alright, let's go. And Mael does something similar, except he does some weird, like, triple set razor blade things that he uses, like chainsaw, like, not chainsaws, but, you know, circular saws. It's just like, it looks kind of weird. I'm not a huge fan. I think they could have done something cooler for the Angel of Death, having just, like, saw blades for hands, like he's Edward Scissorhands or some shit. But that's beside the point. Still like this fight. This fight was really cool. And Mael, once again, I keep saying that he's had a revelation. He's come full circle twice in two different personalities, lifestyles, a whole bit, and he's seen it. He's probably one of the most unbiased people when it comes to demon and goddess right now, like second only to people like Elizabeth would be. And he's looking down the middle, and he's just like, look, I'm sure there's a way we can talk this out. even if it was fake, and even if I was only your brother for a moment in time, we were still brothers for a time. And I believe there's still some way that we can just resolve this and figure this out together. And, you know, like, we don't need to do this. Now, Zeldris, I mean, being the badass that he is just not taking that crap. He's not taking that crap. And he says to him, you know, you're who you used to be, Estarossa, would laugh in your face at what you just said. So that's when they start the fight. And, of course, Merlin says there's only 3 minutes left, you know, sort of idea. She's got 3 more minutes. And so they're trying to go at it, go at it, go at it. And, of course, Zeldris is taking more hits here. Like, he's holding his own pretty good, but after about a minute, he seems to, considering the time frame, Merlin says 3 minutes, then 2 minutes. He's starting to get desperate. He's being beaten down a little bit. That's when he speed blitz Mael. Just speed blitz him. And it's so nice because Mael doesn't even see it coming. He's way over there, then boom, he's behind him, and then he's just slashed. And I mean, Zeldris is beat up, but he's lost his, as Mael points out, he's lost his cold, calculating type of way of fighting. He's getting very desperate here and chaotic. And it's all because, I mean, I don't understand why Mael would say this, knowing what's at stake here for him. He states, I mean, he might not know about Gela. We all know about Gela. But he might not know about that, but clearly Zeldris is fighting for something, and he should be able to know or respect that for some, you know what I mean? So I'm just sitting here kind of like, okay, you should already know, like, he's going to try all out here. And he also states, like, well, here's the deal, like, why do you want Meliodas to be Demon King? Do you really want him to be your own brother condemned to that fate? And so I'm just like, hey, look, Meliodas wanted to do that anyway. He came to me with a deal that gets me what I want. And he wants to be Demon King, fine dandy, I don't care. I just want what he promised me, sort of idea. Now, he doesn't state this to Mael, so Mael probably still doesn't fully understand the reasoning. But he tries, that's when he speed blitz. It's fantastic, I love it, I love it. And then, because it's showing that Mael's not all powerful. Like, he's getting away clean with this fight and stuff, and he hasn't been using Sunshine too much in this chapter at all. However, it's seeming like Mael is not just a reliant on Sunshine, similar to how Escanor is, or similar to how it's been revealed that some of the other goddesses seem to be. You know, Sariel and Tarmiel seem to rely on the power of their graces mostly, while Mael here seems to be an excellent melee fighter alongside of using his grace. So I really enjoy this. I really like this fight. Now, Mael gets taken down briefly. And that's when, of course, Zeldris is going straight after Merlin. He's just like, I'm going after her. I'm going to get her. And this is when King puts up, of course, Pollen Garden. Now, here's the thing. Now, a lot of people will argue this, but once again, I am of the firm belief that the magic system in Taizai, in Seven Deadly Sins, it's a mana pool. They do have a set MP. And it does deplete. Now, Merlin breaks this a lot with all her, I mean, infinity and all that stuff. And I don't really want to talk about Merlin in this chapter's review, so we won't. But it's been stated on multiple occasions by multiple characters over this series that I'm going to run out of power, or this is my final attack and stuff. Well, if it was not limited, if you could constantly use major attacks, I don't care if it's a charge time, but it's either stamina loss and stamina, your health and stamina counts towards how much power you can exude, or it's mana loss, or it's a combination of both. Either way, here, King is the heir of confidence, and King has gone from 0 to 100 since his transformation, but it's nice to see, once again, the limiters put on him that should have been put on Merlin. The limiters put on him in the last 2 chapters, like, okay, at a distance, I can't do this and can't do that. I'm not all powerful. This is too far away for me to be able to do very much. I've got to get there quickly, you know, so there's a limit. And he says, and doing this at this time, it's too exhausting. It takes too much magic to keep this up. I need to get there in close proximity, okay? Bit of a limiter there. Even though it's powerful, limit it. Then, when he uses Pollen Garden here in this chapter, and Zeldris can't seem to break through it, doesn't even seem to crack it from what I can see, King does say, you know, give up fighting, best surrender now. And he's thinking to himself, and he looks cocky, but he's thinking to himself, man, I am nearly at my limit here. Like, I hope, like, please, Merlin, be finished quickly, or somebody, like, get out there and attack him or distract him, because I'm not going to hold out very much longer, sort of idea. And that's good. It doesn't make King weak. King, at full strength, can go toe-to-toe with some of the strongest in Taizai right now. But it shows that he's not stupid broken like Merlin has been showcased to be. So I love the fact that over the course of the last few chapters, King has been shown to be really powerful, great use of his magic, but has also talked about limitations with this and how he is stunted in certain ways and how he can't just keep this up indefinitely. He will run out. He's using high-level spells, high-level magical power, and he's exuding a lot of strength and power to keep up this pace. He can't keep up this pace forever. And I like that that has been nailed home multiple times in multiple panels. It's really good. And it makes me like the character more, that they're not just like, okay, he's transformed, he's broken, he's the Fairy King now, he's the greatest of all. So, really like that stuff. Now, of course, Zeldris cannot break through this, and I'm sure this little panel here will be a meme with him saying, God damn it, and stuff, and no, I'm not going to show any more panels in this review. I'm going to take my chances with the one, and we'll see what happens. But suffice it to say that he's gone desperate, he's gone nuts, and then, well, what happens? Mail kind of shows up behind him at the end here, and yeah, it's not good. Now, I'm not really sure who's here talking right before Mail decides to, you know, kind of blindside or get behind Zeldris and manage to double slash him across. Almost looks like blood wings coming out of him. It's a really cool shot. And it seems that Elizabeth is also mentioning, like, he's losing his control. He's being rash and brash and all that stuff. Like, what are you fighting to this extreme for? And I know that the first part is Elizabeth, but I'm not 100% sure if the next part is Mail. And because when Mail shows up, he says, it is unfortunate, almost referencing what was said in the last panel. So I'm going to go into the impression that Mail is the one believing and talking about Zeldris going to the extreme, while Elizabeth is kind of similar thought process. Doesn't really matter, but either way, he goes down. But still, Zeldris is still amazing. Like, this dude takes so much crap, and he never comes away with the W. It's just sad. It's so sad, because he gets up, double slashed in the back, and gets back up like it's nothing. Like, he's beaten and bloody, but he stands right back up. Like, man. And then, of course, I mean, this is basically the end of it for him, so he can't, you know, he's losing consciousness, and everyone's like, it is unfortunate and stuff, and they're watching as he slowly falls, and all he thinks is, Gelda, 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 and the chrono coffin of whatever time manipulation, Deus Ex thing by Merlin comes out, and it's completed, and Merlin's like, everybody, you're good, you're solid, this is great, the Holy War is over. Zeldris slowly starts to fall. And here's a problem, once again, with potentially it's a reveal or it's a translation thing. Not really 100% which one it is. We finally get in kind of blurbs of what Zeldris is thinking. The words are cut off, and I believe that's intentional, where it says, like, when I become the Demon King, this is Meliodas' case, when I become the Demon King, I promise you, I will resurrect Gelda. Resurrect Gelda. Now, that implies Meliodas did kill her back in Edinburgh. But he might have lied. But why would he lie? Maybe he wanted to keep Zeldris focused. He was like, you know, I'll resurrect her, don't worry about it. And why would Zeldris believe that Gelda was dead if, I mean, maybe he went and looked for he was the one who originally entrapped him, remember. He kept the barrier around him. He didn't kill them like he was supposed to. Unless Meliodas told him, or when they first broke out and it was a scene we never saw, he went looking and couldn't find it, so he assumed they were all destroyed. Or it could just be a translation thing. It doesn't mean resurrect Gelda, or I will free Gelda, or I will deliver Gelda to you. I will bring Gelda back to you. Something like that, even. It's very hard to say, because if that's the case, most of us in the Taizai community believed that Gilda was not killed by Meliodas, that he knew what was going on, and he basically resealed her away from wherever they were, resealed her somewhere different so no one could find her, sort of idea. And like, I'm going to use you as a bargaining chip one day. And that's great for, foresight for him, but why resurrect? So once again, I could be harping on a word and it's just a bit of a translation thing. It's like, well, it's not really resurrecting. I put her in a kind of a coma, but I'll bring her back, she's not dead, but, she's a vampire, so she's not alive either. Like, semantics pretty much, but I just feel like that's kind of key. Once again, we'll have to wait and see, but it is a point of interest. Now, once again, the Holy War has ended. It's nice to see King sweating, like, okay, he's pretty much tapped. It's nice to see Merlin fall to the ground. She's actually used up. Now, this, of course, in my opinion, and there's many discussions on the Boar's Hat podcast, go check that out, about this, but in my opinion, this breaks her not getting tired at all these other spells she's used, doubling up spells, but getting exhausted by using this one. Once again, is it mana pool, which she has infinity of anyway, so it doesn't matter, or is it stamina based, in which case she should have used up. Anyways, we're not here to talk about Merlin, but I love to see Merlin actually on her knees. And yes, I knew exactly what I meant when I said that. It's fine. It's fine. You're all thinking the same things. Don't look at me with those eyes. You're all thinking the same thing. Anyways, we see that she just wants a drink, sort of idea. Hendrickson and Elizabeth match up. Oh, thank you so much what you did for, Gil and my sister, sort of idea. And it's like, King was watching the whole time, and Hendrickson looking around like, where's King, blah, blah, blah. Hog transforms was just kind of like, oh, we do get a shot of Rudestiel and Mal kind of meeting up, but it's not really relevant. It's just like, don't say anything right now. It seems that Rudestiel's body is slowly dissipating, too. His body is slowly disappearing. His original form, of course, because he can't maintain it. It wasn't complete or whatever, or he needs the human vessel. Well, however that works. And so Hawk, goes into one of his demon forms, flies up, and he's like, hey, Meliodas, come on, wake up, it's time to wake up, We stopped you from becoming the Demon King sort of idea, but that doesn't mean you're not in there. We'll get you out of there, and we'll, Elizabeth's got 1 day left, so now we have confirmation. 1 day left, 1 day. And then we look at the top of the cocoon. Split right open. And then just darkness, just straight darkness across all the characters. Everybody's shocked. Meliodas is here. The Demon King has arrived. And Zeldris, laying beaten and bloody, you better keep your promise to me, Demon King. Okay, now, here's the thing. This can go a lot of ways. For one thing, I believe the Sinner will probably attack. For whatever reason. Use this as an opportunity somehow. Seems very loyal, but it seems like a waste of a character if there wasn't some underlying plot for this. The Sinner's going to show back up at some point and either kneel to the new Demon King and then he'll one-shot him for funsies, or he's going to attack him and Meliodas will one-shot him for funsies. Now, a lot of people are also looking like, okay, he's like, look at that evil, that shit-eating grin, like he's evil mode, right? Well, look at his eyes. He's not using darkness. There's no mark as far as we can see from this shot, and he's just giving off a grin. He's just giving off a, damn, don't I look good? You waited 300 chapters to see me out of that chibi body, and now look at how I'm rocking. You haven't even seen, you see half of my face, and every fan of this series has flipped their shit. So, that's why he's smiling. A lot of people are saying, oh, that he's evil. Well, even if he is evil right now, his emotions are going to come back. I'm under the firm impression it's been long enough since the separation between Bon and Meliodas, and Bon came back a while ago. It's been long enough that the emotions should have returned to the original body, even before the cocoon was broken. And even if it wasn't, the emotions are going to return in the next few chapters. I'm under the firm impression that this is going to be such a troll. Like he's going to stand there looking all badass. I can't wait to see his new form in all its glory. He's going to stand there, look like a badass, be like all lordy, 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 and then all of a sudden he's just going to go up Elizabeth's skirt. Like nothing's changed, like nothing's wrong. I'm calling it right now. He's going to stand there, look like a badass, talk shit to the sinner demon, be like, Rudasiel, get your genocidal Brock from Pokemon face out of my, out of my face, all this stuff, and then he's just going to be like, yeah, Zeldra's brother, don't worry. I'll keep true to my word and stuff. And then he'll see Elizabeth, and then you think it'll be some romantic moment, and he's going to just start fondling her. I would love that. It would be such a good troll, but we haven't had a good troll since Aizen and Bleach. Let's get some trolling back in manga. Let's get some hardcore, awesome trolling that we all sigh at, but at the same time, we love it. I would love for that. I really would. Once again, I don't think he's evil. And if he is, it's not going to last long. His emotions, we already had an entire mini arc in Purgatory where he came full circle. He's going to get his emotions back. So what does it matter if he's evil? What, is he going to kill Dol Gother? Dol Gother dies for the 6th time in the series. And then by that time he gets his emotion back. He's like, oh, Gother, I'm so sorry. And Merlin's like, oh, don't worry. I did this, this, and this with Perfect Cube, and it's fine. Okay. So I don't really see an issue here. Not to say that there's not going to be excitement and hype in the next chapter 300 is going to be amazing. And from now on, I believe that the story is going to be even more. We're going to get a lot of dialogue. We're going to get a lot of information. And I can't wait to see where the rest of the story is going to go. But for right now, I don't see an issue with, Meliodas does not need to be evil right now. We already had, chapters and chapters and chapters ago. We had his whole full circle with his emotions. But nobody but Bond knows that. That's the thing. Nobody else really knows that. They're all terrified that he's still assault mode, Meliodas that took Elizabeth and sided with the demons. They don't know what he went through in Purgatory, and the fact that he's coming back, and the fact that he cut off the Demon King's arm. I mean, they could do that, but it doesn't make any sense. And if his emotions, even if he once again is evil, his emotions will come back in the next few chapters. If they don't, then I don't get what the point, him and Bond left pretty close to the same time. Just saying. So, anyways, everyone, I'm running in circles now, but there was a lot to cover in this. This is probably going to be like a 25-30 minute review. But either way, I loved this chapter. Unfortunately, it did not drop at all last night. It dropped literally 10 minutes before I walked into the door to work. So, and it was a longer day at work. So unfortunately, this is almost, this is a full day late sort of idea. But nonetheless, I mean, I can't help it, the time zone I'm in. It was 7:30 in the morning when the chapter finally got English translated. So unfortunately, this isn't out as early as I'd like, but I hope you guys understand. Let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. Of course, everybody loves it, but why did you specifically love it? Did you love it because, Mael's one of your favorite characters, you like seeing him do cool shit? Is it because Zeldris is one of your favorite characters, you like seeing him look like a badass? Is it because Meliodas is finally back? Is it because of anything? Anything. I really want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think Meliodas' reaction is going to be. I'm calling it right now. He's going to pull a troll, and it's going to be awesome. If it happens, it's just going to be great, and I'll be glad that I called it. Either way, this has been Griever with your Chapter 299 review for 7 Deadly Sins. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. It's always appreciated, as it always is. And drink responsibly, as I currently am in the new year. We'll see you back here next time.